In the small, forgotten town of Eldridge Hollow, shadows danced in the corners of every room, whispering secrets only the brave dared to hear. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the old Whitmore mansion, a decaying relic that loomed over the landscape like a dark omen. It had been abandoned for decades, but its presence lingered, casting an eerie pall over the town. When Sarah, a young journalist with a penchant for the paranormal, arrived in Eldridge Hollow, she was drawn to the mansion like a moth to a flame. Armed with her camera and a notebook, she intended to uncover the truth behind the whispers that haunted the townspeople. They warned her to stay away, but the thrill of the unknown ignited a fire within her. As dusk fell, Sarah approached the mansion, its once grand facade now cloaked in vines and decay. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and something else, something metallic. She pushed open the creaking door, and it groaned in protest, revealing a darkened foyer filled with dust and memories. Inside, the atmosphere was heavy, as if the house itself held its breath. Shadows flickered in the corners of her vision, but when she turned to look, they vanished. Sarah set up her equipment in the grand living room, determined to capture evidence of the supernatural. As the night deepened, the air grew colder, and the shadows began to whisper. At first, it was just a faint rustling, like leaves in the wind. But soon, distinct words emerged, echoing through the empty halls. "Help us, find us!" Chills ran down Sarah's spine. She grabbed her camera, hoping to capture something, anything, that would validate her fears. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, as if the house was alive and begging for her attention. Compelled by a force she couldn't understand, Sarah ventured deeper into the mansion. Each room she entered seemed to tell a story of its own, fragments of lives once lived. In the dim light, she discovered a dusty old diary on a rickety table. The pages were yellowed and brittle, filled with frantic scrawls. "Do not trust the shadows," one entry warned. "They will lead you astray. They hunger for your fear." But Sarah was too far gone, her curiosity outweighing her caution. As she read, the whispers intensified, swirling around her like a tempest. She felt a pull toward the basement door, its hinges rusted and reluctant. With trembling hands, Sarah descended the creaking stairs into the darkness below. The air grew thick and suffocating, and the whispers transformed into anguished cries. Shadows writhed along the walls, coalescing into forms that flickered in and out of existence. In the center of the basement stood a large, cracked mirror, its surface swirling like a dark pool. As Sarah approached, she saw not her reflection, but a multitude of faces, lost souls trapped in the glass, their eyes wide with terror. Suddenly, the shadows lunged at her, wrapping around her limbs like icy tendrils. Panic surged through her as she struggled against their grip. The whispers became a cacophony, each voice pleading, screaming for release. In a moment of clarity, Sarah remembered the diary's warning. She closed her eyes and focused on her breath, pushing back against the fear that threatened to consume her. "You are not real," she shouted, her voice echoing in the darkness. With a surge of determination, she broke free from the shadow's grasp and stumbled back toward the stairs.